Well, a good time to rest, sit back, and reflect on things. With that international travel basically at a halt, the bulk of the population huddled in their homes or apartments, most businesses closed. Here, you can see that life is relatively normal. Traffic was very quiet before, but now it's slowly getting back to some state of normalcy. And so I just wanted to cover a topic that is, of course, of great debate, and that is who were the constructors of the megalithic sites that we find at different locations on the planet. Of course, the major locations would be Egypt, Peru, Bolivia, Turkey, England, Easter Island, and some others. It's not that you find megalithic sites all over the world, but you find them in, I think, more clusters. So, for example, you have Egypt, you have Petra in Jordan, you have Baalbek in Lebanon, and Turkey, of course, and that's a clustered area. And then in South America, you have Peru and Bolivia. Only two major sites that I know of in Bolivia. That would be Pumapunku/Tiwanaku, and another location you can look up on the internet called Samaipata. And then Easter Island, of course, is located 2,000 miles off the coast of South America. There's nothing really megalithic in North America because it was covered in ice, at least Canada and the United States, because that whole area was covered in ice up to a mile or two thick up until around 12,000 years ago. And we're talking about locations that were most likely constructed more than 12,000 years ago. So there's some that believe that it was one ancient culture that was responsible for all of it, but through my many years of exploration, I honestly don't think that's the case. And the reason why I say that is because the way that these things were constructed in places like Egypt and Petra in Jordan, it's very linear construction, vertical, horizontal, very flat surfaces. And then when you get to Peru, it's more polygonal. It's more organic looking, and I think the mindset behind that kind of work was very different from the work we see in Egypt. So I see two distinct cultures. The one responsible for the work in Egypt, again very linear, so very left-brained and logical. The stuff in Peru, more right-brained, organic and playful. And then Pumapunku and Tiwanaku, which are the same location. They just have different names, but it is the same location of the same age. I think that was created by a third culture, because the constructions, or what's left of the constructions there, are unique as far as I can tell on the planet. There are certain places that are similar, such as Axum in Ethiopia, but similar looking, yes, but since I've never been there, I can't really comment on it, and one is halfway around the world from the other. So I really believe that Pumapunku/Tiwanaku is a unique construction. So I think there were at least three ancient cultures, possibly a fourth when you go and look at the 950 plus Moai figures on Easter Island. Again, Very distinct kind of construction. There were two different time periods on Easter Island. The Polynesians arriving 1,000 to maybe 2,000 years ago. They made the smaller moai figures up to, say, 6 to 8 feet tall, and the much more monumental ones created by a much older culture, much grander in scale, up to 25 to 30 feet tall. So I just wanted to address that issue. I don't believe that there was one ancient, unknown civilization with advanced technology responsible for all of the works around the world. I think there were at least 3, if not 4, and possibly more. We have yet to properly explore under the oceans, especially in the area between the surface of the ocean and 300 feet below, because of course the oceans rose by over 300 feet in 2 bursts around 12,000 years ago during the Younger Dryas time period. So I just wanted to simply address that issue, since clearly I have time on my hands, not being able to return to Peru at the moment, and being in safe and sound in suburban New Jersey in the US, which gives me time to rest and ponder and think about such subjects. So once again, I hope you're all well. And this is Brian Forster of Hidden Inca Tours in suburban New Jersey, until I can make my way back home to the coast of Peru.